As well as and as well as that. What is the difference between these two? Just bear in mind that after as well as in English, we need to use a gerund format, or we can alternatively use a kind of noun or noun phrase. For instance, you can say that as well as English, I can speak French, as well as running, I love swimming. Alternatively, you can make use of as well as just in the second dependent clause, rather than saying as well as English, I speak French, you can say I speak French as well as English, or rather than saying as well as running, I love swimming, you can say I love swimming as well as running. So interchangeably, you can just use as well as either right at the beginning of the first dependent clause, or based on your own choice, you can make use of as well as just in the second dependent clause, I mean before the second dependent clause. But when it comes to punctuation, just bear in mind that if in any case you use as well as right at the beginning of your own statements, you need to use a kind of comma after the first dependent clause. But in case you want to just make use of it in the middle, there is no need to use any kind of punctuation. You can just say so quite flat. When it comes to as well as that, just bear in mind that this is a little bit different from as well as in English. As well as that in English means in addition, furthermore, moreover. These are just synonymous conjunctions you can make use of. And after as well as that in English, we need to use a kind of subjunctive form. I mean, you need a kind of subject plus a verb and the rest of the sentence. For instance, you say, I speak English, as well as that, I speak French. You know, as you have just heard, I have used a kind of subject plus a verb after as well as that in English, because it grammatically makes sense. The other example would be, I can run, as well as that I can swim. I know French, as well as that I know English. These are just a few examples to make use of as well as that in English. And in any case, if you want to just make use of as well as that, just bear in mind that we need to use as well as that in the second part of the statement, not just at first. If you are just going to connect two statements together, you cannot make use of as well as that right at the beginning of the first, let's say, a statement. Here would be the difference between as well as and as well as that in English. In short, as well as in English means in addition to, and as well as that in English means in addition, and you have to tell them apart. Anytime you want to just contextualize these two conjunctions in English, just bear in mind that after as well as in English, we need to make use of a kind of gerund format or a kind of noun. But when it comes to as well as that, we need to use a kind of subjunctive form. And the place of each one, I have to say that as well as you can make use of it right at the beginning of the first dependent clause and before the second dependent clause. You know, interchangeably based on your own choice, you can make use of it. But when it comes to as well as that, just bear in mind that we need to use as well as that before the second statement, not just before the first statement, because it actually doesn't make sense. You want to just add something. First of all, you need to say something. After that, you need to just add something so that the whole statement would add up. I hope that you can just tell them apart from now on. And I want you to like my own video and follow me for more. I would have a lot for you to learn in the case of English learning. Thanks for watching me.